For more than 35 years, the families of Cheryl Henry and Andy Atkinson waited for answers, and for decades, the case sat cold. No arrest, justice, or closure. Then suddenly, after more than 3 decades of silence, investigators announced they had finally identified the man they believed was responsible. A suspect was arrested. The case appeared to be moving towards a courtroom, towards answers and justice. But now, in a shocking twist that nobody saw coming, the man accused of brutally murdering Cheryl and Andy has died behind bars before ever standing trial. Today, we're bringing you the latest developments in one of Houston's most haunting cold cases. This is the second update we've covered since first bringing you this story, and the questions surrounding this case may be far from over.
Whispers rise in the dead of night, secrets buried in the fading light. The truth's a storm, it will not stay. It crashes through like Judgment Day. Chains will break where shadows lie. The southern wind, it's a battle cry. Sisters of the South, hear the call. We rise together, we stand tall. SOS, the truth will ignite. Justice burns, a beacon of light.
Hey guys, I'm Tiffany,
I'm Stephanie.
and we're Sisters of the South. Back with another story for you today. Sorry we've been gone for a while. It is a story that we have updated twice now.
Mhm.
So with that being said, I'm going to let Stephanie continue.
If you've been following this heartbreaking case with us, you'll remember the tragic murders of 22-year-old Cheryl Henry and Andy Atkinson. And I know that you and I have been keeping close eye on this for a while because we were hoping that the guy that did this would be found. As a matter of fact, you had predicted in our first video that he would be found.
I know
through
you told me
DNA.
that, and I don't even remember saying
Yeah.
it, but it happens, right?
Yeah, and I put that in an updated video for the last update that we did, that she had predicted that, and lo and behold, in like 6 to 8 months later, DNA caught the guy, right?
Yep.
So the young couple disappeared after spending an evening together in West Houston in 1990, which seems like forever ago, which kind of is.
It's kind of a lifetime.
Yeah, it's a lifetime for my children because they
Yes.
were all born in the early to mid 90s. So if you think about their lifetime, that's forever, especially for Andy and Cheryl's
technically,
families.
it's most of our lifetime,
Yes,
right?
it is. It is. So their date night ended in horror. The area where they had been parked was also locally known as Lover's Lane in Houston. The next day, both Cheryl and Andy were found dead. Investigators determined that both victims had suffered fatal neck injuries. This crime shocked Houston, yet despite extensive investigations, tips, and years of detective work, no one was ever arrested. And I know that this was heartbreaking for the families.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I can't imagine.
no, for 30 years, of course, they had their bodies and they buried them, but they didn't know who did it.
No justice.
No justice, and why, which there's never a why in a circumstance and situation like this.
Well, yeah, because you're never going to accept it. You're just going to.
Yeah, but your mind is
know
going to
it.
run wild, right?
Yeah.
Everybody that you encounter, you're going to think, is this the person that took my children away?
Well, yeah, did they know them?
Yes,
You know?
exactly. So it's going to really cause distrust in your mind of probably even their own family members. I mean, who knows?
Just walking around town.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. In your own community. So earlier this year, investigators announced what appeared to be the break that everyone had been waiting for decades. Authorities identified Floyd William Parrott as the man they believed was responsible for the murders. Parrott was arrested on March 25th in Lincoln, Nebraska. This piece of dump was found in Nebraska.
Hiding out.
I'm sure he committed, who knows? He probably committed crimes
Between here and
in Nebraska.
Nebraska, yeah.
Right? For the families of Cheryl and Andy, it was a moment they had waited for more than 35 years. And again, that's heartbreaking. So much happens in 35 years.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure that some of that stuff they tucked away and compartmentalized. And then now all of a sudden they've got to reopen those old wounds.
Well, and some of the family may not even be here
to see it.
To
know it, yeah.
To find out who it was or whatever.
Exactly. But that opportunity may now be lost forever because according to the Harris County District Attorney's Office, Floyd William Parrott died while being held in the Lancaster County Jail in Nebraska. Isn't that ironic? I mean, it just kind of pisses me off. But anyway, officials confirmed the news on April 28th. Authorities believe Parrott likely died by suicide inside his own cell. However, investigators say the death investigation remains ongoing. And honestly, I think this story with what happened to him is going to get lost over time because anytime anything happens in jails or prisons like this and someone's found dead, you may hear the initial news, but you very rarely get updates.
Well, because they're going to wonder, how did it actually happen?
Yes.
How was it available to him? Whatever. But...
And it doesn't make them look good either.
No, exactly. They don't want to answer those questions that they might have.
Exactly. So it's kind of heartbreaking for sure on that. But the timing of his death has left many people stunned. Just weeks earlier, he had been arrested and was in the process of being extradited to Texas to face murder charges. And listen, we all know here in Texas, you kill two people, they're going to try to get you put on death row. And if they don't offer him a plea, which I don't think this guy deserved a plea because he walked free for over 30 years. He doesn't I don't believe in plea deals. And I've said this before, I do not believe in plea deals. But if there has to be plea deals, murder for sure is not one of them plea deals should be offered. Hands down.
Yeah.
So,
well, he wanted to be in control of everything.
Yeah.
He was in control of how they died. Now he's in control of how he dies.
Yes, and the information that gets given back
and if
to
he
the
was
families.
Innocent, he wouldn't have done it,
I
right?
agree with you 100%.
He would have said, no, I'm going to fight for my life. I did not do this.
It makes you wonder, so how many other crimes is he afraid he's going to get caught on?
Oh, yeah, because you know it's going to come out in the long run.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely.
Maybe a while, but it'll come out.
They've got his DNA.
Yeah.
So now the man that is accused of taking Cheryl and Andy's lives will never stand trial. He will never sit before a jury, and unless investigators reveal additional evidence, many questions may never be answered. But the developments don't end there. Following Parrott's arrest, prosecutors revealed that additional individuals had come forward. According to Harris County District Attorney's Office, multiple people alleged that they had been assaulted by Parrott in the past. And one story that I will tell you that hits home to me personally is my sister-in-law and brother-in-law were dating back in the early 90s, and my sister-in-law had an apartment. I think she said like a half a mile from where Andy and Cheryl were found.
Oh, my gosh.
And so my brother-in-law, at the time she was dating him, had come over to visit her one evening, and while they were walking around in her apartment, she noticed someone outside her window lurking and looking in at them. So my brother-in-law went outside to confront the situation, and the guy ran off. And to my understanding, he chased him but never could get to him, so he got away.
Oh, my gosh.
She says that and I think it was very shortly after is when Andy and Cheryl were found. And she said, this story has always haunted me, this case, because I always felt like the guy that did that was lurking around my apartment is possibly the guy that hurt Andy and Cheryl.
And it's almost like he's looking for lovers, right?
Yeah, like he's peeking in on people who are together and dating.
Yeah.
So, and so it kind of hit home. And I'm like, I've never heard you say anything to me.
Know.
But once she saw our story where we'd covered it, she's like, she sent me a text. She's like, look, I think that I think this guy had kind of stalked me at my apartment.
Oh my gosh, that's so scary.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So, and the fact that it actually hit home to her that hard and it's haunted her all these years, tells me that more than likely it was this guy Parrott.
Oh, yeah. And he was doing it to other people.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he was probably one of those Snoopy guys that would look in the windows and stuff and looking for vulnerability to break in and to hurt somebody. So, I mean, those revelations have only intensified speculation about whether Cheryl and Andy were his only victims. I mean, there's people coming forward. I'm sure there's a lot of talk. I'm sure my sister-in-law and brother-in-law aren't the only ones who have stories like that, living in Houston at that time. And obviously he probably lived close around that area too.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
Yes, and he probably lived close enough where he could just walk, more than likely. So prosecutors say investigators are currently working on a Louisiana cold case, a case that they believe may be connected to Parrott. At this stage, authorities have released very few details. We don't know yet the identity of the victim, and we don't know when the crime occurred. Investigators have not publicly explained what evidence may connect Parrott to that case, but the possibility that another unsolved murder could be linked to him raises disturbing questions. And I mean, really, Louisiana's not very far from Houston.
No.
Just a couple hours. Maybe he had a friend there, or maybe his job took him to that location.
Possibly.
So why stop here? And more than likely, I mean, him committing crimes, he's thinking, well, if I'm in Louisiana, they're definitely not going to catch me there. Why not? Why not just try it?
He tried to get all the way out to Nebraska.
Yeah,
and
let's see what happens. And we don't know what year, so maybe he's really become brave.
Oh, yeah, there
in
could
his
be.
Crimes.
He could have done something to anybody between here and Nebraska or anywhere else. Where did he go before he went to Nebraska?
Exactly. Oh, yeah. I mean, it sounds like this guy.
I mean, you're talking 30 years.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of things in 30 years.
A lot. And do something and then just pack up and leave and go to the next town and nobody's going to think anything, So how many crimes might have gone undetected? We don't know. Are there other victims? I mean, we think there are, obviously. This guy's not going to do two and done. He's going to do, and I honestly don't think that Cheryl and Andy was his first ones. I think there's little crimes that he committed up to that point. I don't know that was his first, but then as time goes on, he gets braver.
Well, and I know it's happened before where people start off with multiple people, obviously.
Yes.
But it's very rare. Plus, there's a dude involved. I mean, that guy's going to fight.
Yes.
So you're pretty ballsy to go up to a car with a young guy in it.
Well, he's going to catch them at their vulnerable moment. And
he's
what's
still
more
going to fight, right?
Yes. What's more vulnerable than two people being intimate?
Oh, yeah.
With
but he's still
pants down or whatever.
He's still going to have a fight on his hands no matter what, right?
Exactly. So, how many crimes might have gone undetected? Of course, we don't know. We think there's going to be quite a few.
Yeah.
And will investigators now be able to prove those connections despite Parrott's death? And I think due to them having his DNA, if when these crimes occurred, the investigators did their due diligence and kept DNA, I think that they'll be able to put those puzzle pieces together. I really do. I'm hoping all these unsolved crimes that maybe he was connected to, they will be solved, even if Parrott is dead.
Yes.
So for the family,
well, yeah, because they need to put a name on that, right?
Yeah, they need to, just for the family's sake, for sure. So for the families of Cheryl Henry and Andy Atkinson, this latest update is undoubtedly bittersweet. After decades of waiting, investigators finally named the man they believed was responsible. But before the evidence could be presented in court or testimony could be heard and a verdict could be reached, the suspect died. While the criminal case may never reach trial, investigators continue to search for answers, and the possibility of additional victims means this story may not be over with yet, and I really don't think this story is over. It's not over until they're able to link him to every single crime that's unsolved between those years, I think. They're going to have it mapped out where he was in Houston, and they'll be able to have a paper trail of where he moved from here and there. And if they could come up with maybe some unsolved cases that, through those years, maybe they can link him to those. And maybe that can bring a source of peace somewhat to other families.
Right.
So as more information becomes available regarding the Louisiana investigation and the circumstances surrounding Parrott's death, we'll continue to keep you informed in all the developments.
But until our next episode, guys, please remember to see the good and stay imperfectly perfect. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless.